Okay, freaks, Ian Blickers here. Okay, I'm going to talk some more about uh, Corvid and the new belief system being installed. So, so what we're seeing is a new belief system being installed. Now, this doesn't happen like overnight. It's a slow progression of the old belief systems falling away and the new belief systems being installed. So, what people don't understand is that religions of the past, when they were doing rituals like cutting their genitals or sacrificing this or that, or killing witches or whatever rituals they were doing, these were health and safety. These were health and safety issues. They were done for health and safety, just like COVID is done for health and safety now. So when they were doing those things, in their mind, if they didn't do those things, they would think their Lord wouldn't give them a harvest, like their harvest would fail, or the weather would be bad, or they would lose the battle. So these were very health and safety issues, just like they say Corvid is a health and safety issue. That's how you get these things installed. Okay, so it starts as a health and safety issue and becomes the religion. Okay, people say, "Oh no, it's not. It's got nothing to do with religion." Of course it does. Belief systems are religion. So if someone's belief system is the Lord of the Bible, that's their belief system. And if someone's belief is Lord Corvid, that's their belief system. Whether it's true or not is not necessarily relevant right now. It's okay. So when they say health and safety, you must inject aluminium, or you must keep distance, or you must wear a mask for health and safety. This is pretty much exactly the same as what was happening in previous belief systems. It starts as health and safety. Now, I know this is the new belief system is because whatever Lord Corvid says now overrides the previous ones. Like say in the mosque, church, synagogue, Lord Corvid is the new boss. So they will close when Corvid says. They will keep distance. They will say no one in unless they're having a vax sooner or later. They will wear masks, whatever. So the new belief system is overriding the old belief system. And this has happened a few times in the past, where the new belief system will override. Now, it's not a completely new belief system. Just like Christianity was not completely new to Judaism. Just like Islam was not completely new to Christianity. These were progressions, and not necessarily for the better. So turn away if you're easily offended, because the main issue we see is the people that understand this nonsense are very confused about why many people simply obey and simply comply, and whatever nonsense the TV or the politicians come up with, that they will simply comply and believe whatever nonsense, even though sometimes even basic maths in front of them is just, I don't know, we'll just do whatever. So, and then the two sides will be at each other saying the other one's bad and this or that. Okay, the other side is not bad. So one side thinks they're helping the other one, and the other one thinks they're helping that one. Now, the ones who believe all this COVID stuff and believe the vaccines and stuff, I mean, all it means is their aperture doesn't allow them to see predator. It's too expensive right now for them to view that. So it's a subconscious. So the human mind works on what you're allowed to see, what you're allowed to perceive. If something's too expensive for you to perceive, your subconscious will simply block it. So right now, it's too expensive for the believers to view the data in front of them. It's too expensive. So their subconscious will block it out. Just like if you show a religious person, or say you showed a Muslim, for example, direct evidence that something about Muhammad, their mind will block it out. It's too expensive. And this is normal and this is healthy, because this must happen, because if the mind were to perceive everything, you would go completely crazy. The mind must regulate what it perceives. So if these stage 1 people who think the government's their friend, if they were to be able to perceive that, they would just freak out. It'd be too much for them. So there's a subconscious regulation of information. And so they're not bad. It's just their system is conserving their resources. They don't have the resources right now to see predator. I'd rather not. I'd pretend that there's no predator. Okay? So why? So the humans are, because I've looked at this a while. Why are the humans these days so obedient and will just pretty much believe any nonsense? You could get Gladys Berejiklian on the TV and say there's a new virus that that makes your nose big, and then they'll believe it. They'll just believe anything. So the Abrahamic belief systems, over hundreds of years, they're designed for you to centralize and outsource your belief. So you're strongly, it's actually evil or bad for you to look at beliefs outside the centralized structure. And I see this a lot. So over time, people they're actually taught that obedience is a virtue. Obedience to the structure, to the centralized structure, government, church, whatever. Obedience is a virtue, and this is drilled over and over and over again. So over time, they've just become obedience is a virtue, and whoever's the central narrative of the time, you obey them and you're virtuous, which is complete nonsense. But this is how they've been engineered over time, and it's not. It's happened over hundred thousands of years. The Abrahamic religions, that's their main thing. Obedience is a virtue. Obedience is a virtue, and when they say obedience, it's not always. It's not just God. It's to whoever's there, the church, the government, or whatever it is. If you don't believe me, go reread Romans. Okay, so this is why they are so obedient, and this is why they don't see predator. It's too expensive to see predator, and I'll talk more about this. But the reason why the two sides are at each other is because one thinks both sides think the other one is bad, but that's not what's happening. One is deficient in aperture, which is normal because it's too expensive for them right now to see that information. And the other one sees the information, but they are also don't want to understand that the reason why this is happening is not because of the government, it's because of the belief in government, if that makes sense. So both have the aperture blocking out certain things because it's too expensive or painful. So yeah. It's a bit tricky to get your head around, but if you have any questions, let me know. Cool.